Welcome to Pink Radio with Prestige. This is the place for you, the diva boss entrepreneur who needs quick tips on building your crave-worthy brand. This is your host, Nicole Doss, CEO of the Prestige Society, a membership organization for women entrepreneurs who believe in building powerful networks while slanging in their industries. So I want you to go ahead and grab your favorite cup of coffee and get your favorite tips right here with Prestige. Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Nicole Doss, the CEO and founder of the Prestige Society. Just in case you don't know anything about the Prestige Society, we are a membership organization for women entrepreneurs who believe in building powerful networks while slaying in our industries. Today's topic is going to be a topic that I believe is near and dear to most of our hearts, and that is really, who are you? And so the reason why I say that's a topic that's really near and dear to most of our hearts, it's because we are constantly, or what I at least find is that we are constantly on this journey trying to figure out exactly who am I? Just give me a few moments. I want to adjust my microphone. Okay. So recently I've been doing a number of interviews with other blogs and websites and kind of just letting people out there know exactly what Prestige is and how Prestige helps women entrepreneurs on their journey of being a person who believes in a dream and wants to see it through fruition. And one of the things that through these mini talks and conversations, I kind of been also looking at some TED Talks, and I stumbled upon Simon Sinek, and it just really hit me that when he talks about how great companies inspire people to act, he was saying that people do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so, as simple as that is, as simple as that phrase sounds, it is so profound in really how people are really out here trying to make their dream their reality. And the question then becomes not what are you doing? So, not are you a hairstylist? Not are you a makeup artist? Not are you a person who owns a boutique? But the real question, the unique identifier to what makes you different from all of that noise out there in the marketplace is really, why do you do this? And I literally was landing in LAX, and I had like the deepest, profound moment where I was just like, oh my goodness, I have to ask myself this. And when I did, and the realization of why I do this, why do I spend time helping women move from their 9 to 5 into living their dream, is because I am that girl. And I realize that who I am at my core, I am that girl that realizes that, traveling for your 9 to 5 and constantly being out there doing a job that does not give you satisfaction is not okay. I am that girl who is relentless in making sure that I am building a brand that can make a difference as well as provide for my family. I am that girl that will not stop working on my brand, regardless of where it takes me. I don't care if it never makes a dime. Prestige will never go away. And when I realized that I am that girl, I realized that who I was helping, it wasn't other women, it was myself. And I realized that it's because I am helping myself on this journey. That is why I am so passionate about helping others. And that is why I am so genuine in my efforts in helping others and sincere in the coaching that I provide. And it really made me realize that if you are an entrepreneur and if you don't realize why you are doing this other than just making money, then you may not be successful. Now, of course, there are people out there who are just doing things for the money, and they are absolutely successful. But success is defined in a multifaceted way. And so it's not just being defined as one making money, but it's also through happiness. It's one through fulfillment. It's one through feeling like you are adding value, because what ends up happening is that when you aren't in that space where all of those other spiritual things come into place, then there's a void there and you aren't happy regardless of the amount of money that you spend or receive. Now, we will not act as if money does not make some things easier for those in life, but definitely making sure that there's more substance to your cause is definitely something that will give you fulfillment all the way around. And so that's something that I really think that every entrepreneur should ask themselves, not what do you do, but why do you do it? And so I have 3 tips on really going on this self-exploration journey of why do you do it, as well as some tips on why you should also market that why, and what marketing that why will do for your brand. So the first thing I think you absolutely need to do when you are trying to figure out why you are doing it is just write it down on a piece of paper. Just write down first the question, why am I doing this? And without overthinking it, allow your pencil or pen to move and allow your thoughts to just spill out. There's no judgment there. There's no judgment because there's no one else that should be reading this paper. There's no judgment because you need to be absolutely transparent with yourself. So in doing so, don't judge what comes out of it, because whatever lands on that piece of paper is necessary for you in order for you to grow to the next level. So you're going to go ahead and write down why you're doing what you're doing. It can be for any reason. Once you see the why, if you feel that the why is compelling, I don't even care if it's just, if you're an event planner and the reason why you're doing this is because you absolutely love to make things beautiful. I don't care if you don't feel it's compelling enough. It's going to be able to reach someone, somewhere. There's a bride somewhere. There's a bride everywhere who loves things to look beautiful. There's brides out there who have dreamed of their wedding day since they were little girls. And all they see are beautiful images of what their perfect day will look like. So they need someone like you who has a vision of beauty to make their dreams a reality. So don't overthink your reason why once it's written down on paper. Don't feel like it has to be something as big as solving world hunger or fighting for world peace. It just needs to be your why. And your why is enough. All right, number 2. Once you have gotten to a space where you're able to share the why, then what you're able to do is share that message with others. So therefore, allowing your targeted audience to know why you're doing this. It can be on any type of platform you can think of. So whether you want to do an I call them Insta chats, an Insta live, a video on your feed on Instagram, whether it's a Facebook live, whether it's on your YouTube channel, whether it's a blog post, whatever it is, there needs to be a campaign around why you do this. And it needs to be visually and aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It needs to be compelling enough to reach your targeted demographic. You need to be in the minds of your targeted demographic or your target market so that you can connect your why you're doing this to the need of your market. Now let me go back. When you're in business because you are solving a need or solving a problem for your target market. So I wanted to go back and touch on that so that you understand why you would be connecting the why of why you as a business owner or service provider are doing what it is that you're doing, and why you're tying that to the problem or the need that you're solving for your targeted audience. Because your whole business is in existence because there's a need. If there's no need, then ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? because that may answer the question of why you're not seeing the expected success that you have envisioned for your company. So make those visuals or podcast or your tweet or whatever it is, make it a campaign. And by making it a campaign, I mean make it a series of conversations, a series of ads, a series of just marketing out to individuals of why you are doing what you are doing. Once you have done that, then I want you to really hone in on what your campaign is going to provide for your brand. And what it provides for your brand are a number of things. The main important thing is one, it's going to allow you to move into a space where you are focused in on the need of your client and who you are at the core of your brand, the mission, the value, the vision of your brand. When you are connecting or aligning the dots between customer and brand, you want it to be so much more than this transactional relationship where you have a product or a service, they have money, and then there's a transaction that's involved, and that's it. Why do you want that? Because when people are purchasing items, they are purchasing based off of emotion. So let's think about it I hate to go here, but I'm going to go here because I'm a woman. So let's talk about a nice, beautiful pair of shoes or a really nice bag. Or if you are into cars, a really beautiful car. For most, I will not use a blanket statement and say for all, but for most, when purchasing something is happening or a purchase is happening, usually what takes place is that an individual has an emotional reaction to the item that they're seeing, the service that they're getting ready to retain. So let's look at one. I could look at a really beautiful pair of shoes and say, wow, I really need that. And then from there, I purchase the shoes. From purchasing the shoes, I move to loving to wear the shoes, wearing the shoes like, oh my gosh, falling in love with the designer, feeling the not only appreciating the beauty of the shoe, but also the comfort of the shoe. So now this becomes my designer. Not only my favorite shoe, but now this becomes like my designer because my designer gets me. But there's this emotion to it, right? Now, here's the thing. If I really love the shoe, and I say to myself, oh, I love these shoes. I love this designer, but there's no real connection to it. Now, let's talk about brands for a moment. Brands can either make me feel like I am part of an elite, or it can make me feel like, hey, I don't care if I'm part of an elite, but because I really like this brand, I'm going to stay loyal to the brand. But there's work that the brand has to do. None of this happens just because a brand creates a product, and because it creates a product, then I'm automatically loyal to that product. What usually happens is that I don't even realize it's happening. I'm seeing it through images on TV, magazines, billboards, through others who are others that I may look to for fashion pointers or what have you. All of the work the brand is doing, it is building a connection between me and the brand. So whether it's, let's just talk some brands really quick. So let's talk about a Louboutin shoe. A Louboutin classic shoe is like, for me, the most uncomfortable shoe there is, but yet there is a status that is aligned with a Louboutin shoe. So therefore, if I want to be part of whatever status that is part of that, then I am going to then buy Louboutin shoes. Now, Christian Louboutin did not just create this shoe and that's it. But what they did through their marketing is that they and their pricing model, because marketing is your price, promotion, product, and placement. So through all of those very basic elements of marketing, Louboutin has created this status that you feel that you're part of. That's emotion. That's all emotion. And so then it becomes, why does Louboutin make the shoe? Because He makes a shoe for the elite. He makes a shoe for a woman who wants to feel classy. He makes a shoe that just by looking at that red bottom, people know exactly who you are. What? That is all built into the emotion of the buyer. And so you, as the buyer, have no clue that this is all happening in the back end. You, as the buyer, you just know that you want that item. It's the same thing with electronics. People who love Apple versus people who love Samsung. But for those who love Apple, they love Apple. There is something about the technology that's not extremely innovative, especially when you look at it against Galaxy. But people who love Apple products, and I am that person, we love what Apple does for us. So whether it makes us feel like we're buying really great technology that we have to purchase every freaking 3 to 4 years, or we love the fact that the screen on the laptops just have a beautiful sharp image. It's geared towards people who work on things like graphic design. So when you see an Apple, you're like, oh, they have an Apple. And you're probably thinking, wow, and they spent a lot of money on that laptop too. It puts you in a status, and that all happens through their marketing. So Apple does not come out and say, we just make laptops. They come out and say, we create a technology that puts you in a place or a status or in a group that is recognized. That's crazy. Because you as the consumer just feel like you have a preference. This is your preference and you go for it. No, the marketing is geared towards that. That's work. That's research. That's effort that these brands are putting into making sure that there's a connection between their product or services and their client. And it's so much more than just saying, I have a product, here's a customer, one-time transaction. They're building it as a lifestyle brand. They're building it with effort and intention and strategy to say, I want to make sure that this consumer feels connected to the brand so that they keep coming back. So I turn this over to you, and I want you to think about what you create. I want you to think about all that you do. And let's just be honest here. When I talk about a business and I talk about a brand, this can span over anything. If you are a hairstylist working in a salon that you do not own, what you do own is your brand. Especially if you're responsible for getting clients, retaining clients, increasing your clientele. You have a brand. What is it that makes your customers, your clients, come back to you? What is it that makes them decide that they need to only come to you? That's something that you have to build on. You don't negate it because you don't own a salon, because what you own is your brand. That can go for anyone who is responsible for gaining their clientele. If you work in an establishment that you do not specifically own, what you own is your brand. For those that own businesses, you own the business, the brick and mortar, or the functional operation of it, and you own the brand, the packaging, the message that goes out to the customer. How are you telling your customers why you do this? What's your campaign look like? How are you building relationships with your customers so that they don't go anywhere else? How do you build the trust that you are sincere and you are genuine in all that you do? How are you building a story of your company so that they feel like they get it and feel like this is why I want to be connected with this brand? Don't overthink it. Write your why. Tell your story. Make the connection. If you don't know how to do that, get someone who can help you. All right. So this has been an awesome conversation with you, Divas, because I know that through this effort and through this work, you are going to be able to create a story about your brand that's going to build client loyalty like you've never imagined. So I want you to write that story, market that story, get it out to the masses, and start changing the dynamics between your clients and your business. So this is Nicole Doss, CEO and founder of the Prestige Society, saying have an awesome, blessed, and productive day. Bye.